Hello and welcome, you amazing person. My name is Rob, I'm the Manic Gaming Guy. Whee! Oh my god, I almost went flying. In today's video, we're going to be playing some more BeamNG.drive. This is a part 3 of a series we're doing where we're trying to make a map which is super high definition. It's going okay so far. I thought I was having troubles with grip on the road. I thought it's being funny, but no, it was my force feedback settings just being a pain. So if you heard me talk about that in the previous videos, or if you hear me talk about it in this video, don't worry, the issue has been resolved. I'm not going to talk too much this time, as I keep waffling on a bit too long for all of you, I imagine. So let's jump over to BeamNG.drive in my new map, where we go from blank to glorious. If this is your sort of thing, do feel free to hit that like button and subscribe for more further content from this mug. Well, this is it, the BeamNG level we've been working on, and we're in part 3. Part 2 was a bit of a disaster, but at least it gave us some sort of direction of where we want to be going. So, as you can see, I've kind of got a backdrop now, which I've borrowed from the driving training lab level, and it's gone okay. It's squeezed in nicely. I had to shrink this one down to like, what did I shrink it down to? 0.2, so it's 20% the size of the original size. The backdrop one is the same size as it was, just left it as it is. But yeah, it's kind of helped. It's given us a bit more depth to the map, which is quite nice. We've just got to block off all the areas, make sure all these gaps are filled in, looking nice and dandy. Obviously, this is a drift map, and we are wanting to make sure these cars go sideways pretty nicely. If you watched the last video, you'll know they were sliding a bit too easily, a bit too well. I need to try and solve that by going into the road tools, the texture, terrain thingamabob, and changing that, so we'll do that in this video. Other things we'll be working on is some detail in the map. This big hole needs some water on top, so we've got a nice pond and maybe put a nice fountain in there. And also we need some vegetation. We've got no grass or trees. Well, we've got grass, no bushes or trees, making it look nice. It just looks really bland. I stuck a castle here, which, you know, gives us something to look at, but I think there's a few more things we can throw in there. And if I'm successful, this map will be available for people to play on. First people to be getting this map are the ones on Patreon. I'll work my way through the members, making sure the more superior ones get it, trying it first. And they can help me test it, tell me any bugs or errors or any changes they want. And then we'll slowly progress our way through the tier levels. And then when I'm quite happy with the map, it will be compressed and stripped down and made smaller, so we can share it hopefully on the BeamNG repository. So my first steps are going to be probably going through the asset browser folder and have a look at all the 3D objects we have in here already, and see if there's any that suit the map that we can stick in there. Some fun wind turbines. I'm sure that won't cause any frames per second issues. It looks nice. Something in the distance makes it feel more realistic. Now I'll put some billboards in, because billboards, you know, they're always cool. But I'm not going to stick to these. I'm going to try and open up the file and we'll put our own advertisement on. Maybe a few YouTubers we like, or things that I like. This is a puppy! Jack Russ, okay, I love kissing you too, but people are watching. We can't do it when people are watching, okay? Good, behave. Oh, hope you enjoyed the video. Feel free to like and subscribe. Say hi, babe. Say hi, camera. The tongue. Now, it may look odd because it's orange, but I got my own decal. When I find it, I'm going to replace this with a guardrail decal. That's translucent where it needs to be, and then we'll put it to the right height, and then hopefully that stops people just randomly crashing off here and ending up on this track, which is probably a good idea. There's the little car part looking pretty okay. I've got to do a few more alterations. I think I might bring the walls down here, maybe put a guard post if I can find one. That'd be quite a fun detail. Even though I shouldn't go too crazy, I am trying to want to keep this game running high frames per second to make it a bit more fun and enjoyable for all computers. But there is also a bandstand, like a grandstand. I did think maybe put that in this corner would be quite fun. We'll see what happens. Yeah, something like that looks pretty nice. Definitely do want to be putting lights on here, and I'm going to put the code in as well. It makes them turn on at night time and off during the day. Just not sure how many lights I want yet. And also I've done a silly thing of putting all the lights in first. Ideally I want to put one set of lights in and then add the light particle thingamabob on top and then copy and paste and then do it that way. That makes more sense, but do that later on. But for now, just so I don't forget, I've got these lights anyway. We'll do that in a bit. That one could take a little bit of time. But I think that would do for 3D items for now. I do need to borrow some more from other maps. Like I want a garage of some sort to go there. But apart from that, yeah, maybe I don't need too much more. Maybe some road signs, make it a bit more fun and realistic along the edge. Yeah, that'll be about it. I didn't really want to be putting trees and bushes and stuff in so soon, but it's looking really bare. And the next thing I've got to do is some file swapping over stuffness and transfer some of my old decals from other maps into this one so I can use them on this map. So yeah, let's build some trees. So, first step, do we have any made? Oh, we did make some. Oh, awesome. Oh, that's good. Did I tell you how I did that? Hopefully I did. So I don't really need to go over it again. Let's see how well they're working. Let's turn the density down to about 50. Let's turn this size down and let's see what we end up with. Oh my god, that's ginormous. So, do not like spawning them in, but there we go. That would be the sort of bushes we want on the inside, because I don't want to be too crazy. And then maybe we'll throw... Oh, is this the ferns? Are you coming in or what? Ferns with the odd bush. I don't mind that. But this will probably be on 100% maybe. Not be throwing in many ferns, is it? I think it'd be like crazy amount. So yeah, I started recording because I was going to show you how I do this sort of thing. How I set them up, but obviously I've already shown you. I've definitely done a tutorial, so if it is something you need to do and learn, feel free to jump over to one of my BeamNG map making tutorial playlists, and I'll show you how to do it there. Oh no, didn't need it on 100. I want this on like maybe 15. Okay, I just want the odd tree on the inside, not many, just the odd tree to make it look pretty. Over here's not so bad. Because we'll be cut, that's behind the track anyway. And any viewing looks, yeah, something like that. Maybe some more trees down here wouldn't be too much of a bad shout. Cool. Let me carry on, and you'll get to see the finished outcome eventually, won't you? Won't you? My trees are doing weird things. I need to try and sort that out. It just helps the map come to life. I also realised I can actually plant trees and this stuff as well, so... Well, hey, we can actually have a bit of a forest going on, so maybe I'll change the density now, but up the circle, we can make it feel like it's inside a forest. Hidden away from civilization is a amazing drift track that only a handful of people have access to. I want to go careful with the trees, actually. Ruin that frame per seconds. Jeez, if you just took that orange strip away, gave it a beautiful sky, yeah, almost a nice picture. Quite annoyed I've not got a garage, so I definitely need to import that over. As I was checking, I found these buildings, and I think they had quite a nice backdrop. Looking quite good now, I think. I need to put a wall up here, that's for sure. I hope you're enjoying the video so far. This is Post Rob interrupting the video to say there is a playlist full of my BeamNG tutorials where I go more in depth on certain tools like building a road, which is quite fancy. We also like to build a road because we drive cars in BeamNG, and sometimes we put buildings and stuff up and trees near a road that we just built in beamng.drive. So if you need some help, go to my tutorials. Feel free to browse. They will never know. Unless you look really close, I imagine you could work it out. Right. I think it's time to fill my hole. We do need a different texture, not grass. I tend to put rock and sand in there, but I ain't got rocks set up yet. Let's have a look. Do we even have the rock pictures? What am I doing? Terrain tool. Why does it look like there was a tool missing? What's going on here? Things are happening. Paint. So, Like I said, we could be putting sand. Is this sand? Very white sand, isn't it? Could be putting sand in here. You can get away with doing that in your little swimming pool thing. We could even be putting concrete in here. Actually make it look like a fountain instead. That's not too bad. It don't really matter what too much because you're not really be driving on it. If we go to add a terrain, click on terrain, we can put the plus symbol, and we need some rock, and then we click on the ground material. This is how the car's going to act upon this thing. It's not dusty, it's not foresty, gravelly. It could be gravelly, couldn't it? It could be gravelly, or it could be rock. We'll make it rock. Right, do we even have the right sort of... Right, let's cancel that. Do we even have the right detail for rock? We got a rock. Normal. Macro rock macros there. So where's the actual picture? Where are you? At least I can now set up the other two. Let me go scroll back up. I can set up the macro quite easily. Let's just choose that. Why not? Boom. Normal. Did we not see the normal as well? We chose the normal. There we go. Awesome. They're the two hardest ones normally to find anyway. So just got to find some sort of rock looking thing. All right, dirty grass rock. There's a picture of some rock. That looks about right. Ish. It'll do. The diffusiveness. That would just be the same picture of the rock we just got. That'll do there. Set up the size to... I think we're going for 2, weren't we? We'll try 2. Distance, blah, blah, blah. Crank you up by 0.3, why not? And strength of view. Yeah, sound, add material. There we go. So now we go in here. Click on rock. Does its thing. Thinking lovely. And then we can maybe drop down the percentage of strength. The pressure. And then we can draw some rock over the sand. We can choose to go heavy in some areas and lighter in others. That gives us a nice bit of detail in the map. There we go. And we can even come off a little bit on the edges. Very nice. So that would be quite a dangerous thing to drift around, but also quite pretty at the same time. Now let's fill it with some water. Hello, it's Post-Rob again. I'm going to be doing this a few times in the videos like this, just so you get a bit more interaction and to see this mug. Hope you enjoyed the video. So here we go, some water. Blah, 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 swoo-doo-doo-woo. Okay. It's one of the easiest ones, so I'm going to record the whole thing for you. River. What's the size? 30? Is 30 going to be enough? 30 is going to be enough, so we're going to go straight across. Could even shrink it on this one, but we don't really need to worry about it too much. Gonna line up the ends. It's sort of an oval shape, lovely, looking quite over the top. And then we can go onto the object mode. Grab the whole water, lower it enough so it's below the road. Thinking probably about there. You could also change the settings of the water before doing this if you're struggling to see it. I think that's probably about the height we're aiming for. But now the next fun bit is changing the settings. I tend to just muck about with these first. We'll just try making the water a bit thicker. You can always read these to remember what they are. So don't really need to worry about that one. Flow. Water object density, velocity. We can make it a bit faster. There we go. Boom. We can make it a bit more cloudy. That's the one. The power of it. No, need to change that one. This one's the reflectionness. We can change that one. The specular. The white, the blackness. Okay, we bomb that up a little bit. We can even change the colour of the water a little bit if we wanted to. So we make it a bit bluier. We give it a bit more of a bluer tinge to it. Base colour as well. Let's make that a bit more of a darker blue. Could we make it a bit lighter blue? A bit more of a darker blue. A bit more bluey blue. Not a problem. We can make it brighten up and glow. No, we don't want to do that. Overall wave. Waves. We do want some waveness. Let's have a look. I need to push J and actually look at what's going on. And look at some details in the water. So we've got light. There we go. Good rippleness effect. So waveness up a little bit, but we can do a bit better than that. We can create the foam that creates near the edge of the pool. We want that to go up. Foam depth. Let's crank that up. Don't need to touch that one. Foam ripple influence. Yeah, let's bump that up. Now the reflection stuff. That's the sky. So it's reflecting the sky and the things. That's good. Full reflection, reflectiveness. We make it a bit more reflective. Makes it a bit more clean and real looking. Priority. We'll leave that as 1. Max thingamabob. What is that again? Affects the sort of time reflection objects. Yeah, we can muck about with that. Why not? Detail just reflect up and down to leveled objects rendering in reflection. Yeah, that's fine. It's just to do with the stuff coming up. Where's all the fun stuff? I think they've updated this a little bit, you know. Underwater fog, so that's how clear it is. We don't really want it too clear. There we go. Probably about a 2 is good. Density offset. Don't think I need to change that too much. Water depth. Oh, needs to be a bit deeper, doesn't it? Is that even changing the depth of the water? I don't feel like I went up then. What is the car doing? You're literally sitting there, you're shaking the wheel like, man, look at it. What are you doing? Why are you doing that? Probably shouldn't have my wheel plugged in when there's no need. Probably helps. Oh, you can see the wind turbines reflecting around. Nice. We need to improve the quality of that. Okay, wait, I'm going to pause it. So I know we kind of need it running. But it's alright. Depth. We're not going to worry about the depth too much. I'm sure we could have done that with this top thing up here. With the nodes or whatever. But we'll do that later. I wanted to find the reflection quality. What's going on? You can change the text. There we go. So we want it to 1080, surely. No, what was it? No, what is it? No, we don't want it 1080. I got to remember power of 2 now. The double of that would be 512. This is making sense. Double of that would be 1024. 1024? Yeah, I think that's right. It's better. I know it's still a bit janky, but you got to remember it's water, so it's going to be rippling anyway. That looks perfect. So that's the reflection rate you want. That looks a lot nicer. I'll finish off the rest of the settings. That's the main one I wanted to show you. Make it a bit more thicker. Make the water a bit more dirtier. Add a bit more reflection. And then you've got a bit of pretty water. We just need to sort out the foam on the edges so you can sort of see it rippling off the edge. This tree is having a little party. What are you doing? Just like bopping up and down. That's not normal. Look at the other trees. They're not doing that. Oh, you're not even moving at all. Oh, you're moving now, aren't you? Yeah, you're moving. Not as much this one. Let's have a little dance. Where's the editing? Where's the music? That's the editing you're going to get from me. Yeah, I think that'll do for the water. I think it looks pretty enough. I'm not going to muck about too much with the settings just now. Maybe we'll do a bit more later on in the future. Maybe add some pretty rocks and things. Yeah, we ain't got any rocks. There's not many rocks about. We need to add some rocks somewhere. But yeah, looking good. Looking pretty. Nice reflections. Yeah, happy days. What's next? Ooh, this is amazing. Oh, I did all the file stuff and moving stuff over. I only moved the 3D objects. Didn't move any of my decals. Do it again. Right. Oh, I just spent the last hour finding more items to put into the map because I wanted some decent garages. I've hopefully got some now, so let's put them in, shall we? I did it. I put some garages in. I made it nighttime. I see these lights are glowing. It looks good, but they don't light the garages up, so that will change. Did you know you become a member on my YouTube channel? It's a little way to say thank you for the videos and to help keep my morale pushing on to build you more of these fun things to play on. Enjoy the video. I forgot to put it in. She looks so happy. I think it's time we sorted out the guardrail. So first step, mesh road, and then select the mesh. And then we want to change some details. We've got top material, bottom material, and side material. We're going to change the materials. Well. It looks like mine aren't there, so I'll have to go to the material editor and implement them into the game. So in the material editor, we want to be adding a new material. We'll call this one rail side, because I do believe I've got a top rail as well. Correlate. Obviously you can name it whatever you like. Whatever you fancy. Click on the picture and find your decal somewhere in here. When you find your picture, you upload it, and then you have a ginormous guardrail. And also you can't see through it. So we will have to go through some of the settings down here. Now you can change some of the tag stuff, and that makes it pop up in other places. But obviously we don't need to do that right now. Don't need to add any sort of ground material to it. You know, it would be pretty funny. Now what if you could get like extra sparks to come off it, or like dust from choosing a different ground material? Who knows? Advanced layers, don't need to touch this, do we? The alpha clip. There we go, alpha clip, and then we can adjust how much it's clipping to get rid of the white. Beautiful. Now can we use Control A to select it all and change the depth to maybe 5? Yes, and that's now changed the size of the rail. It looks quite good, that size actually. It's done it. So let's move this rail down to the ground. Was that on the ground yet? Oh, where's my arrow gone? Where's my arrow? Also, I can move the gimbal. Is it a gimbal? I'm sure it's called a gimbal. About a bit easier. Oh. There we go. That's the one. Still a bit thick. I'm sure I used to be able to get these down to smaller than what it's saying here. 0.1, please. But I guess that will have to do. A nice thick guardrail. We could obviously put our own little brick wall. Maybe we'll do that in the future. Have it fancy white stone English brick wall instead. But obviously we need to make the top material stuff, which means making another new material. Obviously you want to make sure you play around the settings and get it all right for yourself. Like there's some that say receive shadows. Of course we wanted to receive shadows. Z white, not a clue, but I'm selecting it anyway. This one's a pretty good one. If you're doing road decals, it makes sure the road actually continues off into the distance rather than fading very soon. Do we have it a nice guardrail going around the map? We'll sort these trees out later. Don't worry about them. They're a bit jankety, a bit jank. So hopefully, I'm pretty sure we can select this and change like the brake angle. Is it? Yeah, there we go. A bit of a brake angle change. Make it a little bit smoother. Yes, fairly nice. Texture's at 40. Is that a good distance? I think you can probably go bigger. Is it bigger number we want? Bigger number. Spread that decal out a bit. It is doing some weird stuff there, but that would have to be changed in the old GIMP program if I wanted to make that look a bit better. But I could just stick a hedge over that for now. Who cares? I'm liking it. I'm loving it. I'm almost ready to play on it. I also have a Patreon. Why do my bushes look like they're breathing? It's a bit intense. You can make it slimmer. Is that slimmer? Yeah, it's definitely slimmer. So I'll put that one to 0.1. But obviously that's also different. I thought that'd be even smaller there. That's quite annoying. Obviously the point of this whole map building is to use smaller pixel measurements. So you thought I'd be able to get that even smaller. It's quite upsetting really. But still nonetheless, that size is better than this size. But I can't change this one. The way you do it is by using the mesh tool. You have to set it first on here, the size you want. I wonder if we can do smaller. 0.001. Can we? No, so that's the smallest you can do there. But after you put it down, if you're trying to change it on here, look, 0.1. Oh, okay, it worked then. But that's not true, because if I click on this one, select all nodes, and I want it to be 0.1. It won't do it. Why? I need smaller mesh roads, please. But I could also just export it to Blender and make it slimmer, I guess. That'd be one way to resolve that. And probably give you better frames per second and stuff like that. Oh my days. No. This place. Oh my days, what happened? This place is looking pretty beautiful. Maybe some road markings? Or should we leave them blank? I'm not too sure. I think road markings always make it look a bit more detailed. But maybe this should do for now. Imagine I've overrun my episode again. So I'm probably going to call it off there maybe. And just give you a little heads up of what's going to be in the next episode. We need to add some light. As it goes nighttime, you cannot see a thing. So we need to change that. We need to make these lights active. Same for in the garage. Like I said earlier on, they illuminate, but they don't actually radiate. Is that right? I don't know. So they need changing. Decals, that'd be nice. We need to add some decals to the roads and onto here, make it a bit more interesting. We also need to add a wall around the middle area so that people don't just come crashing off the road and into other people when they're having fun. Maybe add some life to the pond. Make that a bit more realistic. And then we obviously need to do the car park. That needs to be have some parking actually put in there. What else? I had one more thing. What was it? I'm sure I had more to say. Da 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 da. I also want to change some like levels of this grassness. It shouldn't be too flat straight across. I'm going to raise all the grass up compared to the road just to make it a bit more realistic, a bit more bumpy when you come off the track sort of thing. You shouldn't just be sliding straight off. We've obviously got some bits here to do, tidying up, but we can put some rock detail into there. That would look quite nice rather than just having grass everywhere. Actually, that might be a good idea. So basically the next one's going to be even more detail to the high definition map. I hope you're enjoying it so far. Anyway, you probably should speak to Rob in real life, shouldn't you, by now? Woo! That's the end of the video. Have you enjoyed it? I hope you have. Keep it real, stay safe, and share that love. Stay around for the next one. Bye-bye.